On the news tonight, as Muslim faithful look out for the month of Shawwal, Eid prayers to hold only at Jumaat mosque premises. Eid Fitr preparation on top gear as security operatives deploy personnel to different locations in the FCT. And Muslims pray for Allah's quick intervention in the nation's challenges as this year's Ramadan comes to an end.
Hello, glad to have you join us on the news at 7 on NTA Channel 5, Abuja. I am Mariam George Jitubo. FCT Minister Mohammed Musa Bello has chaired a meeting of the FCT administration and a delegation from the FCT League of Imams to discuss modalities of holding Eid prayers for the upcoming Eid al-Fitr celebrations. Ifeanyi Izumba reports that the minister appreciated Muslims for their cooperation in the course of the battle against COVID-19 in the FCT.
Having gone through a first wave of the pandemic and a second wave that caused more fatalities and had increased number of positives, based on presentation made by officials of the Health and Human Services Secretariat of the FCTA, FCT Minister Mohammed Musa Bello disclosed that it has become imperative to prevent a possible third wave, as has been witnessed in some countries across the world.
Also agreed that all parks and recreation centers where people congregate during festivities for the purpose of this year's Salah in the FCT, particularly in Abuja, the capital city itself, which is still an epicenter, even though the rates are much lower. We are going to close them until such a time after the festival.
Chairman, FCT League of Imams Initiative, Tajuddin Mohammed Bello Adigun, on behalf of the League said, Muslims listen to experts, those who are specialists, and also abide with the commands of leadership.
We continue to call upon our followers to make sure that they observe actually the protocols of the COVID.
Based on this, Chairman League of Imams, Dr. Adigun, urged Muslim Ummah to also respect the stand of the administration of the FCT by observing their Eid prayers within their localities. In Abuja, Ifeanyi Izumba, NTA News.
And as Muslims the world over prepare for the celebration of Eid al-Fitr, scholars have shed more light on the basic etiquettes expected of the believer as they go to various designated mosques to observe the 2 rak'ah prayer.
Muslim who is celebrating Eid al-Fitr, it's expected of him, first of all, the first after Salatul Subhi, he or she is expected to symbolically break the fast. Meaning, he is not expected to go to praying ground with fasting. It's a date 1, 3, 5, 7, odd number. That in the morning, he or she is expected to have a spiritual birth. Just like Janaba, we have this bath, purification, then you embark on a journey to the Eid ground, saying Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar, La ilaha illallah, Allahu Akbar, Walillahi alhamd. After that, you get to the Eid, there's no any nafila there, there's no any iqama, no any adhan, waiting for the Imam. On the arrival of the Imam, they do the 2 rakat. Observing the 2 rakat, after that, then they listen to the khutbah, sermon by the Imam.
It is there we explain to you what next, that is the 6th Shawwal, Shawwal fasting, immediately after Ramadan. The Imam will explain that and how we go about it. And when you come back, then you rejoice with your family. Sit with them at home. Let them feel at home with your children and be so happy with them.
As well as extend the lessons of love, obedience, piety, and charity associated with the Ramadan to the life beyond. 1,767 personnel of the Federal Road Safety Commission have been deployed across the FCT for Salah patrol. The new FCT sector commander, Samuel Ogaochi, disclosed this during an exclusive interview with Deborah Gazaji Maika in Abuja. The reports.
As traffic build up in Abuja markets and around shopping malls in preparation for Eid al-Fitr celebration, FCT Sector Commander of the Federal Road Safety Corps, Samuel Oga Ochi, has enjoined motorists to observe traffic rules and regulations for a hitch-free Salah celebration without reports of road crashes.
We have heightened up our patrol activities within the FCT metropolis and also the area offices outside the metropolis. Now, arrangements have been made to also ensure that during the festivity proper, activities are carried out within the metropolis peacefully, and there will be no congestion of traffic anywhere. Now, what have we done so far? For the period of fasting, our emphasis have been deployment to areas of worship, so to ensure that the number of persons that come to those places to worship during the activities are carried out without problem.
He says in case of eventuality, the command has stationed ambulances at some strategic locations in the FCT for emergency response.
We have one at Nyanya by Kubo. We have one by Goshen, as we're getting to the Kefi Road. We also have one by the road to Kaduna Road, that is Kubwa Kaduna Road. We have at one of the points there, just by Gilmore. Then we also have one at Zuba. We have another one at Giri, and we have another one by the National Stadium.
Deborah Gazaji Maika, NTA News.
Similarly, security operatives has reassured residents of the Federal Capital Territory of a hitch-free Salah celebration as they have deployed personnel at strategic locations to ensure the safety of lives and property in the territory. Aina J. Auta reports.
The FCT Police Command deployed personnel to strategic places such as recreational parks, worship centers and major highways to ensure a peaceful Salah celebration. Speaking on behalf of the FCT Commissioner of Police Bala Chiroma, the FCT Police spokesperson Mariam Yusuf says the command is leaving no stone unturned to ensure the safety of lives and property.
The Commissioner of Police CP Bala Chiroma has ordered uninterrupted patrols, diligent stop and search operations, coordinated intelligence-based crime-fighting strategies ahead of the celebration, and a very new adopted covert strategy has also been introduced, which I won't be stating, as we are doing everything to make sure residents have a hitch-free Salah celebration.
Similarly, the FCT Command of the Nigeria Security and Civil Defense Corps, under the leadership of Commandant Matthias Ohiemi, has deployed 3,000 personnel to heighten security in Abuja, urging residents to go about their lawful duties without fear of molestation from any quarters, while making efforts to live in peace and obey COVID-19 rules.
According to Commandant Matthias, it is no gainsaying that the crime rate in the entire nation is on the increase. The security agencies is saddled with responsibility of securing and improving on security strategies so as to checkmate the activities of criminals and hoodlums in the FCT and the entire nation as a whole. Going by this, it is well important to know that the NSCD's FCT Command have deployed 3,000 well-trained personnel to strategic points in the federal capital to provide security of life and property, and also build confidence and assurance to the general public.
They urged all residents to partner security operatives in the area of information share as they wish residents a happy Salah celebration. Ayena J. Auta, NTA News.
And with the two-day public holiday declared by the federal government for Muslim Ummah to celebrate the 2021 Eid al-Fitr celebrations, passengers are taking advantage to travel to celebrate with loved ones. Hawa Gimba was at the Idu train station and Utako Motor Park to see the flow of passengers.
Traveling by train is one of the most alternative means of transportation for most Nigerians, coupled with the security challenges the country is facing. This has been described by passengers boarding train at the Idu train station to Kaduna to celebrate the Salah.
It's much safer. All we heard about the 300 soldiers that were deployed in bushes, and I'm not sure about that. I took
as well as extend rail lines to every part of the country.
Yes, this is the last resort for us now. As you can see, a lot of people have joined the queue now. Look at
the fare, I think there's not much significance. The difference should be 500. Prior to the festive period, I think it's 2,000.
Actually, the transport fare is too much. Most especially if you notice some people here are going to Jos and it's 2,500. While somebody that is going to Kafanchan-Gidanwaya, 2,500. You can imagine. And the distance are quite different.
Okay. While wishing Nigerians a peaceful Salah celebration, they are however asked to report any suspicious movement around them to relevant security operatives, as well as observe the COVID-19 safety protocols. Hawagimba, NTA News.
In the meantime, thousands of Muslims from the Al-Nur Mosque Wuse too in the last odd number days of the last 10 days of the Ramadan, where the night of majesty is expected as they submit to their Lord in prayers for bounties and benevolence. Abdullah Ajia also participated, reports that the special Al-Qunut prayer was offered for Allah's quick intervention in all challenges of man.
As the clock ticks deep into the night, these worshippers with strong conviction converged in the house of Allah at a time that offers the best for the lucky worshippers. Muhammad Abdullah and Dr. Kabir Kabo Usman are two among the thousands of devotees keeping faith with the promise of Allah at such period.
It has always been a feeling of fulfillment to me as a person. And the fact that I have lived to witness this is to me a big rahama.
What is important in prayer is tranquility. And of course, the Prophet ﷺ prayed and he encouraged us to pray. And he is a noble example of all mankind.
Their belief, like any other worshipper in attendance, is that of a spirituality like never before, as it provides them the opportunity to move closer to Allah and pray for Nigeria and leaders.
Alhamdulillah, we have done well, in the sense that today is the 29th night. And of course, we are looking forward, to the next year, so that history can repeat itself.
Whenever you make an ibadat, you have to have a deeper inner faith that Allah is going to listen to you, because that is what He says Himself.
The Al-Qunut prayer provided a moment of spiritual climax and more access to the mercy of Allah, glorifying Him for the best in this life and in the hereafter, as the congregation was encouraged to continue with the moral lessons learned beyond the Ramadan. Abdullah Hajia, NTA News.
And now to health. Figures from the Nigeria Center for Disease Control, NCDC, as at 10th May 2021, indicates 27 new cases of COVID-19 in the FCT, bringing the total number of confirmed cases to 19,846, while active cases stand at 581, and the number of discharged cases in the territory put at 19,099. Sadly, 166 deaths have been recorded in the FCT. And now sports. Nigeria Super Falcons have been pitched against the Black Queens of Ghana in the 2022 African Women Cup of Nations as Edison Karani signs new Manchester United contract. Amos Musa has more on Sports Brief.
Nine-time champion Super Falcons of Nigeria will face arch rivals Black Queen of Ghana in the first round of the qualifiers for the 2022 African Women Cup of Nations. Meanwhile, Nigeria Football Federation has assured that they will engage the Super Eagles with quality international friendly games ahead of the 2022 FIFA World Cup qualifiers. This was made known on the backdrop of the postponement of the World Cup qualifiers, which were scheduled to commence next month but has been moved to September due to coronavirus pandemic. Elsewhere, Cavani has put pen to paper on a one-year contract extension with Manchester United. Cavani, 34, only joined United on a one-year deal in previous summer and autumn transfer window. However, the agreement has been completed. Cavani has accepted to stay after Manchester United board and Solskjaer were pushing to keep him. In basketball, Russell Westbrook became the NBA all-time triple-double leader as he recorded 28 points, 13 rebounds, and 21 assists for the Washington Wizards at the Atlanta Hawks. Westbrook has now recorded 36 triple-double this season and 182 for his career. With Sports Brief, Amos Musa. NTA News.
And before we go, a quick reminder. COVID-19 vaccine is free. Please avail yourself the opportunity to be vaccinated. It is the effective way of curtailing the spread of the virus. And that concludes the news in English. Up next is translations. Good night.
Bagyaje shaje wona yiwana bayi shaba bada wo mu president of Ayuba wona ku bagayi minister akizina ya Muhammad Musa Bello wona ba shin shi bageda inge ya shi akizina ta shi azana gbanya na do na salashi abuse gi gbada kun akizina ya ba shi abaye she baba shi inge salaid ya ko balayin ifa yanzu ba wada inga minister ya ku asalashi sami woi ci ba ga ba fi inge ya san ko bagbatulo ba da ko dawolo wa godo wai ga ba inge akizin da gwamnati ku da inge a tabayya shi in bugban sha shi idi a salahin untu in ya san yabo koyin a bai shi salai koyin ina juma'a ya salashin ba ya dudu inke zida abu sibida da do na a gwamnati a sagui gbadagui ba da inge ba titi gbogbo na ba gu azafi sala shi sai koyin ya gama koyi ina gbada yana je auta wada inga kizida abu sibida sana gba bala chiro ma wo bada ko gan ye mari abi su wada inge bi kwa ga ko ta ye ko ya ko waje ko buji ta shin ayo popon wada inga yisu wada na abu sibida ya ban ba titi shi tiga ya sase fi dagba na je kizida alabagi ya jasu da inga bage asalashi ya alnon da bai yashi in wuse safa gwan ba yi shakwayiwe ramadan yipe gwawo kmasinya na shi nubo inga suko anabarkanya ba sun ba shi ba fi inge salaba gbatu abdullahi jiyawa da inga asalashi bai ku alkunot salashi shakwayiwe giya na bai washi abanu kwai ba shi bai in ba yi shi in boyin Muhammad Abdullahi Dado Dr. Kabir Kaboy Usman ba tashin bagi inge sala ya koyin tu ba mana ba ko shi koya ba da bai ku zai baja da wasu shi kwa sai ya su
alaikum masu kallo da sauraron mu barkanmu da shan ruwa a takaice ga fasarar wasu daga cikin labaran yau mai karantawa Yusuf Yakubu. Ministan Abuja Muhammad Musa Bello ya jagoranci zaman da jami'an hukumar birnin tarayya da tawagar limaman Abuja karkashin jagorancin Tajuddin Muhammad Bello a Adegun suka yi inda suka tattauna akan al'amuran idin karamar sallah da ake kyautata zato za a yi gobe ko jibi. Wakiliyarmu Ifayin Ezumba ta haɗo mana rahoto cewa ministan ya yaba shugabannin addinin musulunci akan haɗin kan da suka bayar na yaƙi da cutar corona a nan birnin tarayya Abuja, inda ya ƙara da kira ga al'ummar musulmi cewa a yi haƙuri, ba za a yi sallar idi a babban filin sallar idi na ƙasa ba saboda halin da ake ciki na yaƙi da cutar corona, inda ya ce kowa ya yi sallar idinsa a masallacin juma'a na unguwarsu. Haɗakar jami'an tsaron birnin tarayyar ƙasa Abuja sun ba da tabbacin cewa za a yi bukukuwa da shagulgulan ƙaramar sallah a nan birnin Abuja lafiya, a yayin da suka baza jami'an tsaro a ɗaukacin guraren da ke ɗaukar hankali ko tara al'umma don tabbatar da tsaron dukiyoyi da rayukan al'umma babban birnin ƙasar. Wakilar ma yana jiya auta ta kawo mana rahoto cewa rundunar 'yan sandan Abuja da ta hukumar kare fararen hula, a jawabin da masu magana da yawun rundunonin suka yi, sun ce sun tura muhimman jami'an tsaro gurare inda suka buƙaci al'umma da su sakata suwala a yayin bukukuwa da shagulgulan bikin ƙaramar sallar, sannan su haɗa kai da jami'an tsaro wajen ba su muhimman bayanai akan tsaro da zarar buƙatar hakan ta taso. Dubunnan al'ummar musulmi ne suka yi tururuwar sallar tuhajir a masallacin Annur da ke Wusaitu a daren 29 ga watan Ramadan domin su riski daren alfarma daren Lailatul Qadr da ake kyautata zatonsa a ranakun marana watan, don addu'o'i da neman biyan bukatunsu daga Allah maɗaukakin sarki. Wakilinmu da ya halarci sallar Abdullahi Ajiya a daren da al'umma suka himmatu wajen nau'ikan ibada domin dacewa da dare ɗaya tamkar dubu, an gudanar da addu'o'i na neman agaji da ɗauki daga Allah mai girma akan ƙalubalen da ƙasar nan ke fuskanta da ɗaukacin addu'o'i na neman lafiya da zaman lafiya. To ƙarshen labarin namu na kenan, mu kwana lafiya.
N'akụkọ ụwa nke taa, aha m bụ Rachel Ifi Ono, tọọ ntị n'ala nara anyị akụkọ anyị ji bịa n'uhuruchi a. Minista n'isi ala anyị nakwa otu jikọrọ ndị imam niile nọ n'isi ala anyị enweela ọgbakọ nke ya bụ minista bụ onye isi ha. Ifeanyi Ezumba wetara akụkọ na ya bụ ọgbakọ gbadoro ụkwụ n'ụzọ ha ga-esi mee ememe sala na-abịanụ. Ya bụ minista kwukwara na agaghị ekpe ekpere Eid n'ogige ha na-ekpe ya bụ ekpere na mbụ, kama ka ha gaa n'ụlọ okpukpe ha dị iche iche kpee ya bụ ekpere. Ọ gbakwara ha ume ka ha dowe iwu na usoro nje korona mgbe ha na-eme emume sala. Ndị ọrụ nchekwaba n'isi ala anyị ekweela ndị obibi isi ala anyị nkwa maka nchekwebe n'oge emume sala. Anyị na je awụta wetara akụkọ na ụlọ ọrụ na-ahụ maka nche n'isi ala anyị Civil Defense site n'aka onye isi ha Matias Ohieme ewepụtala ọtụtụ ndị nche ịga n'ogige dị iche iche dịka ụlọ okpukpe, ụlọ ahịa nakwa ebe ntụrụndụ dị iche iche ịhụ na udo chịrị na ya bụ ogige. Ya bụ nwa amadi gakwara n'ihu gbaa ndị mmadụ ume ka ha nyere ndị ọrụ nche aka, ọkachasị n'ihe banyere ịgbara ha ama. Dịka elekere na-akụ kwapụ kwapụ na abalị dị ebube nke ndị okpukpe Islam, onye ọrụ Abdullahi Ajiya mgbe o sonyere na ndị okpukpe ha ndị ọzọ kpee ekpere na ya bụ abalị dị ebube, wetara akụkọ na abalị a bụ abalị ha were okwukwe na Allah ga-emezu nkwa niile o kwere ha. Ọ gakwara n'ihu kwuo na ya bụ ekpere ga-eme ka ha nweta ebere Allah ma tookwa ya n'ụzọ kwesịrị ekwesị. Onye ọma ya ege ntị, ebe a ka anyị pịachiri akụkọ ụwa nke taa. Udo dịrị unu.
Ìròyìn iléeṣẹ́ amóhùnmáwòrán ìkànnì karùn-ún ti ìlú Àbújá ló ń dé sí etí ìgbọ̀nyín látẹnu Mobọ́lájí Mátì. Aláṣẹ ìlú Àbújá Muhammadu Musa Bello síwájú ìpàdé ìjọba ìlú Àbújá àti àjọ àwọn lèmọ́mù l'Àbújá láti fọ̀rọ̀ jomitoro ọ̀rọ̀ lórí ayẹyẹ àjọ̀dún ọdún ìtúnu àwẹ̀ tí ó ń bọ̀ lọ́nà. Alákòjọpọ̀ ìròyìn Fáyìn Ìsúnbà ròyìn wípé aláṣẹ Bello ọ̀hún fún ìfọwọ́sowọ́pọ̀ wọn lásìkò tí orílẹ̀-èdè ń gbógun ti àjàkálẹ̀ àrùn COVID-19. Àwọn lèmọ́mù nínú ọ̀rọ̀ pinnu àti tẹ̀síwájú pẹ̀lú àwọn òfin àti ìlànà COVID-19 láìsí àní-àní. Àwọn agbófinró ti sọ àsọdájú wípé ààbò tó péye yóò wà yíká orígun mẹ́rin ìlú Àbújá tí àwọn ará ìlú yóò ṣe àjọ̀dún ọdún ìtúnu àwẹ̀ láìsí ìyọnu. Alákòjọpọ̀ ìròyìn Ayé Àwùtá ròyìn wípé àwọn agbófinró ti wà yíká pàápàá àwọn agbègbè ẹlẹgẹ́ láti rí i wípé wọ́n dáàbò bo ẹ̀mí àti dúkìá gbogbo ará ìlú Àbújá. Ọ̀pọ̀ mùsùlùmí ló péjọ sí mọ́ṣáláṣí Al-Nur tó ń bẹ ní Wuse kejì l'Àbújá níbi tí wọ́n ti ń retí òru abiyì láàrin ọjọ́ mẹ́wàá tó kù nínú oṣù Ramadan bí wọ́n ti ń gbé ra wọn sílẹ̀ fún níwájú Ọlọ́run ọba láti bá ojú rere rẹ̀ pàdé. Alákòjọpọ̀ ìròyìn Abdullahi Ajiya ròyìn bí òun náà ti kópa nínú ètò ọ̀hún wípé àdúrà al-Qunut wáyé kí Ọlọ́run ọba dáhùn sí àwọn ìṣòro tí ọmọ ẹ̀dá Ádámọ̀ ń dojúkọ. Ọ̀pọ̀ tó kópa nínú ètò ọ̀hún mẹ́nuba pàtàkì ètò náà pẹ̀lú àdúrà kí Ọlọ́run ọba dá ẹ̀mí wa sí títí a ó fi ṣe ọ̀pọ̀ rẹ̀. Tó a ò rí jù báyìí lónìí títí ìwòye ọ̀la òrùn rèé la ó sùn.